So the 6 strands. I always just take a little bit of flour because they might be a little tacky, although I doubt very much in this room that'll be the case. But always better safe than sorry, because if they're sticky at this point and they stick together when you're trying to braid them, it will interfere with the final shape. Okay? So, toss them in flour, and you take each tip and kind of just press it down, one on top of the other, so they're all joined at the top. All right, so this is the 6 braid. Okay? Now, what this is the sequence of strands. Okay? 6 over 1, 2 over 6, 1 over 3, 5 over 1, 6 over 4. Okay, so that might not mean much right now, but it will, just in a moment. So just don't worry about that right now. Okay, you can write it down when we're done, but just this is what I'm doing right here. Okay? Starting from the left, always, even with the 3 braid, the left I always count as number 1, moving across to the right, which is always number 6. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right? Each time you move the strand, it's going to change the number. So it was this number, but you've moved it, so now it becomes this number. Okay? But just count from the left is 1. Moving to the right is always going to be number 6. Okay? So the first move, 6 over 1. So 6 over 1. Bring it over. Just lay it over gently. I'm not stretching it. I'm not pulling it too much. Okay? So the next one, 2 over 6. So this is now 2. This is now 6. All right? So bring that over. 1 over 3. 1 over 3. So I'm just laying them over gently, just kind of keeping them nice and spaced apart. Okay? 5 over 1. And then 6 over 4. As you can see, a little bit starting right there. Okay? So then once you get to 6 over 4, you just go back up to 2 over 6. And that's the sequence. That's the arc. Just keep going through step after step, right? So 2 over 6, 1 over 3, 5 over 1, 6 over 4.
So fast.
2 over 6, 1 over 3,
Oh my God.
5 over 1, 6 over 4. Okay, so you can see it. And you just keep going. All right? Okay? So then when we get down to the end, you don't want to stretch, you don't want to try to pull these out because it's only going to make the loaf kind of get skinnier at that point, right? When you stretch it, the strand gets thinner. So the same thing's going to happen to the loaf. All right? So you might need to use 2 hands. So 2 over 6. You kind of tuck the 1 down, and then 5, and then bring the 6. So that's pretty much as far as I can go without stretching the pieces. So get them all, just pinch them all together, gather them all up, and do the same thing like you did the top, pinch them all together. Pound that down, flatten it, because you need to tuck it underneath. If you just push them together and tuck them underneath, it kind of makes a big, it causes that end to get misshapen. Right? But when you're looking at them, you can see that there's a little bit of space in between the strands. Okay, that's what you want. So that's as a result of me just laying them over. I didn't pull them really tight. If you pull the strands really tight, when this proofs, it doesn't really have enough room to expand because the dough is so tight. And then when it goes into the oven, you're going to tear. You're going to see a lot of tearing. Okay, the loaf will start to split. All right. So pick it up onto the loaf, and then you just move on to the next.